colonial masters, as they come, they've been telling our story. It is our story, and they make it his story. It's their story, and they've been telling us for a long time. But it is time for we to claim back our power, claim back what belongs to us. So we have to tell our own story. Because if we are telling the story, they can turn it and say it in their favor. But that is not true. Like about Africa, anything they tell you, that is not true. You see. And they make, one thing they do is they make up your mind, they decide your mind. I always said after they take the strongest and the smartest away from the continents, the remaining ones, they colonize us and change our mindset against you. So if I see you, I will not see you as my brother. You see, I'll see you as an American. I will not see you as an American. I will see you as an American. That is what they do to our mindset. And then over there too, they change your mind. Oh, this place is not a good place. You cannot live here. A whole lot of negative. These people are flawed, like a lot of things. I just say how they normally tarnish Nigerians' image. And Nigeria, they are flawed and all that. It is not like that. We are still doing this to separate the both of us because they realize that if we and our brothers and sisters from the diaspora decided to leave America, the African Americans, maybe they decided to leave America, now America will collapse. You people are the backbone of America. You make America who America is it today. Even you go to Europe, black people built Europe. You see? So it get a time. Because one thing I always say is a time will come. Every race need to come back home. You see, Chinese, Asians like Chinese will go back, Indians will go back. As a black man walking in the surface of Africa, like of this world, where is your home? It's Africa. So far as you are a black man, you are from Africa. Irrespective of where you are from, either you are African American, African Caribbean, African Europeans, you are an African. This is your root. That is why I always mention you. No matter how the situation is. And then there is no way Africans or black people, irrespective of where you find yourself in the world, will be respected until Africa becomes strong. In the 90s, China was, nobody respected Chinese. But now China become powerful. Everywhere they go, they respect them. If Africa becomes strong, very powerful, every black man, wherever you find yourself, they will respect you. No matter how the situation is, until Africa is developed, before black people outside Africa will be respected. And they don't want that to happen. That is why they separated us. In 1885 and 1884, they sat in Berlin and they share Africa among themselves. That's what we call it Berlin Conference. You heard about Berlin Conference? They share, they toss Africa among themselves. France said, I take Benin, and they share, like as we here, like I bring something, so I like this one, I take it. That's what they do to Africa. Yeah, British have their share, France have their share, Portuguese have their share, Germans have their share.
Wow.
And they share Africa among themselves. And they colonize us for over 100 years. You see? And then even after they live too, they haven't lived completely. After the colonization, they have something called Anglophones. They have common Anglophone countries, they have something called Commonwealth nations. And where is the head? It is in England. And they are using that, and they have something called IMF, International Monetary Fund. They are using that to control our economy. So Africa only have political independence, but the economic independence we don't have. So our leaders, even though now it is not the Queen of England, now the King here, he's the one controlling. I don't know, recently you watched some video when in the White House, Donald Trump with Liberian president. Before we can retain our power of who we are before. Because before, black people are the one ruling the world. We heard about Mansa Musa, the richest man ever living in sacrifice from Ghana Empire. We heard of Mansa Musa. Mansa Musa, he was the richest man in the world up to now. He's from Africa. In the olden days.
Right.
He was rich to the extent that when he's traveling, any country he reached, they cost inflation. They give gold, give money, like he can come to Ghana and then give gold to people around. So it cost inflation, everybody has money. Like any country you have to cost inflation. Very, very rich. Yeah. So where we are going, Kwame Nkrumah. I don't know if you heard about Kwame Nkrumah. Kwame Nkrumah is our first president in Ghana. And then he's not just our first president, but he's a pan-Africanist.
Okay.
He's a very, very strong pan-Africanist. He lead Ghana to independence. And then he was fighting for the rest. He was fighting for the unification of Africa. That was his goal. That was his agenda. But the imperialists have hijacked his agenda. And then they sabotage him. And they cause coup against him. That is what they do. You heard about Mohammed Gaddafi.
Yes.
So what they do to him. So if any African leader who is trying to change the narratives, trying to help his people, then they will be against him. Because he's opening your eye, our people's eye. Because if Africa decided to develop like, because we have all the resources. If one can passports.
It was called Gold Coast, which was named by our colonial masters, the British, because of amount of gold we were having at the coastal section of Africa. That is why they named us the Gold Coast. They used to play their polo games only on this park. So we as Ghanaians, when we try to come here, we will take you out. So every gold, so many years. That is why Dr. Sajifo Kwame initiated to declare the Independence Day right on this park. That was on the 6th of March 1957. And we are the first country in Africa to gain independence. So in honor and legacies of Kwame Nkrumah's name, that is why we placed the bronze statue over there to tell each and every one what a Sajifo Kwame Nkrumah did here on the 6th of March 1957. He grew up from the western part of this nation, where the mother and the father comes from. He is the only child of the mother, Madame Elizabeth Nani. His father, who was a goldsmith, who was having many children, but unfortunately, his father died as he was only 4 years old. So the mother enrolled Kwame Nkrumah in the Roman Catholic Basic Elementary School. At the age of 16 years, Sajifo Kwame Nkrumah started teaching as a English teacher. He then later on attended Achimota Training College, now the Achimota School. So in 1928, he gained admission to attend Lincoln University in Pennsylvania, USA, which he was graduated of 2 degrees, philosophy and sociology. He was also in London in 1942 to attend the London School of Economics for Britain. So in 1945, he more African people who were in Europe were forming a Pan-African Congress in Manchester. That was where Kwame Nkrumah was inspired by Marcus Garvey, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King. But he saw W.E.B. Du Bois on that day. And W.E.B. Du Bois, the way Kwame Nkrumah devoted himself, he inspired Kwame Nkrumah again to join the Pan-African movement fully. So the following 2 years, Kwame Nkrumah returned back to the Gold Coast. But then he was invited by a political party by name United Gold Coast Convention. That is the UGCC party. And they became the basis of this nation. And he was their general secretary in 1947. But the British were still around, so they arrested all of them. Because they knew they wanted to gain the independence for this nation. So as they were arrested and released in that same year, Sergeant Kwame Nkrumah didn't like the idea of him joining them, and they were arrested by the British. So he left them to form his own political party the following year, 1949, called the Communist. He also came here, granted history in 2007 to represent himself. But the great man also, Nelson Mandela, also have a tree.
Oh, wow.
We are going to see it.
Wow.
So you can see the
Look at these dragonflies. Look at school kids. So lovely. So uniform. So behaved.
Because I was born on Tuesday, and you are starting it from the back. When you start it from the front, I'll do the front. I was born on Tuesday. I'm the last person. Yeah. 7. I have 7 days. Yes. one day, when they get always.
Second to last. If you start from here,
we have in Ghana, Dr. Don Adam. He said he's going to design this for surgical Kwame Nkrumah because it's like a tree growing that couldn't go to the mass that have been cut short. Meaning Kwame Nkrumah's issue and this ideas of coming back to Africa and to unite with all African nations and make us one family. Nkrumah died on his way. That is why the tree couldn't grow. It look like a sword or a machete that has been turned upside down. This. Nelson Mandela himself in 1991, before Osagyefo Kwame Nkrumah's body will come back to Ghana, it was a tough issue between Sekou Toure, then president of Guinea Conakry, to release the body of Kwame Nkrumah for Ghanaians. And some aspects from books we've read, he was right. But they're going to do a coup for you in your country. He had a son already, who he was born in 1935. That was when he was traveling to USA to educate himself or to further his education. This mother is half British and half African. Madame Kwame Nkrumah. You will see her picture in the main museum. But Kwame Nkrumah did not marry to her biologically. They just gave son. Kwame Nkrumah originally married the Egyptian lady. So in all, he has 4 children. So as he died in the year 1972, the Egyptian lady lived 35 years and above. Before she was about to die, she insisted to be buried close to the husband. So she died in Egypt on May 1st, 2007. And they brought her all the way from Egypt, Cairo, to be buried close to the husband as she insisted. That is the great life of Kwame Nkrumah. Wow. The Egyptian lady. Wow. Kwame Nkrumah is the only man she lived with him in life. Wow. She was 20 years whilst Kwame Nkrumah was 48 years as they married on the 6th of March 1957 in December. As Kwame Nkrumah declared the nation's independence in December, he got married to the Egyptian lady.